Hello there. This is day 1 of the 31 days of December that I will be bringing recipes to you to have every day to put in your recipe catalog. Today's recipe is going to be a shrimp, kale, and white bean soup. It's super easy and it is fitting for this time of year, this season, where it's a little bit chilly in parts of the country, and then other parts of the country, like where I am, is pretty sunny. But nonetheless, this recipe is super easy, it's quick, and your family and your friends will simply adore you and it. So we are going to get started. So I'm going to turn on my pan. Put it on medium high. We're doing medium to medium high heat. I have my portable cook type here, but I'm going to go ahead, and you can do this on the stove too, is what I was going to say. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon and a half of extra virgin olive oil, or you can use avocado oil or the oil of your choice. So, and in this pan, I'm going to let it heat up a little bit more. Okay, so while that is heating up, I'm so excited about the month of December. I get to be with you every day of the month of December. I know you're excited because I'm excited. We're going to be eating our way through the month of December. A tasty recipe every single day. Every single day. So, here's what I have. I have a half of a large white onion. Go ahead and put that in my skillet. Yeah. And you can use yellow or white onion. I have one medium carrot. I have it cut into slices. But you can dice it if you want to. And then I have one whole stalk of celery. I have that diced. And I have 2 bay leaves, but I'm going to sit those down for a second, and I'm just going to stir this around for a little bit so that it can get to cooking. It smells good already. It smells good already. Absolutely. So I'm going to let that hang out there for a second. I'm going to pop in my bay leaves. I have 2 small ones, 2 small bay leaves. They pack a punch and they smell so good too. So I'm just going to pop that in there. I'm going to put my lid on here. I'm going to let that cook about 2 to 3 minutes. But until then, you and I can talk a little bit longer. Where have I been? I know you want to know. You didn't ask me, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So this past year, a lot has happened. I finished 1 degree. I started my graduate degree, of which I will be graduating in the spring of 2021. And I will go on further to get my PhD in epidemiology. I know that's a lot. I'm getting my master's in nutrition right now. So, yes, it's a lot. That's where I've been hiding at. I've been studying an awful lot. An awful lot. Trust me. So, that smells good. The onions are sweating down. Smells really good. And now is the time to put that first layer of seasoning in. So I'm going to pop the lid right here. I have some thyme. I have about 1/4 teaspoon of dry thyme that we're going to pop in. This soup to be a little bit spicy. You do not have to add this, but I am. I have some crushed red pepper flakes. I'm just going to do a heaping pinch. A little saucy, a little spicy. And so I have some sea salt. I'm going to do just a pinch. So the beans that we're using in this recipe are white canned beans. They're navy beans. I have them rinsed and drained. I'm going to pop the lid back on there. Pop the lid back on there. let that mirror hang out for just a little bit. So I'm going to take a trusty fork, and here are my beans, if you can see that, my white beans. So I'm going to take the beans, a fork, and I'm going to mash the beans just a little bit to break them down. Not completely. So in essence, I'm probably mashing about a quarter of the can of white beans. And this is probably about a 15-ounce can, almost 16-ounce can. And the reason why I'm mashing it is because that extra breaking down of the beans is going to thicken up our soup a little bit without adding any flours or any creams or anything. So that is, there's a good mash on that. Good mash on that. So this smells really, really good. Really good. I'm going to remove my lid, and the brown bits are down in the bottom of our pan. Really good. It's starting to caramelize, so I'm going to turn down the heat down to medium from that medium high. So I'm going to add my pepper, my black pepper, just a couple of heaping. I did like 3 turns. That smells delicious. So at this point, we are going to add 1 container, which is 32 ounces of a vegetable broth. I have an organic broth here. We're going to add this in. We're going to use this whole container because we're wanting this to cook down a little bit and really have the vegetables absorb in that vegetable broth and get the richness out of it. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and pop in our beans. Remember, we have 1 can of white navy beans, rather, 1 can. You can use a white bean of your choice. I grab the navy beans because I have a cupboard full of beans that I purchased and that I need to use up, and I purchased them due to the pandemic, and so I had some things that were on hand. So you can use what's in your cupboard, or you can go to the store and get it. Cannellini beans will work good in here, Great Northern or navy beans, or any and everything in between. So I am going to let this cook. Let this simmer. I'm going to let this cook for about 15 minutes. 15 minutes, I'm going to let it cook on medium for 15 minutes. And then we're going to add in our shrimp because they're only going to take a couple of minutes for the shrimp to cook at best. And then after that, we're going to pop in our, guess what? Kale. And our soup will be ready. Our soup will be ready. And I can't wait to taste it because I'm hungry. I'm like really hungry. So can't wait to taste it. And we'll be right back after this cooks down. 15 minutes. You and I will be eating soup in no time. It has been 15 minutes. Actually, I let it cook a little bit longer. So I let it cook for 20 minutes. And I'm just going to pop the lid right there. It smells so good. It smells so, so good. I am going to go ahead and fish out the bay leaves because we are done with those. Fish out the bay leaves. So, it has reduced considerably. So the only things that we have left to put in is our shrimp and our kale. So I'm going to go ahead and put the kale in. And the kale I have is, I put 3 cups in. I like kale a lot. Those that know me know that I like kale a lot. I'm gonna pop that in. Let that wilt down a little bit. And I'm also going to go ahead and put my shrimp in. So, I'm gonna move this here. I'm gonna pop my shrimp in. And I have a half a pound. Do a half a pound to a pound of shrimp. I only have a half a pound because it's, I'm just making this for myself and not for a gang of people. But the recipe calls for a pound, so do a pound. It'll be more than enough. Just gonna make sure that the kale gets covered completely. And the shrimp are cooked just that fast. So I am going to put the lid on and let that cook for about another minute and a half to make sure that the broth is infused in the kale and the shrimp carries and marries all those flavors together. And then I'm going to start plating them. So I'm going to move my stuff out of the way so we can get started. I'm super excited. I'm so excited about this recipe. I'm so excited about this recipe. And I know that I'm gonna need a little bit more black cracked pepper because I absolutely love cracked black pepper. It is so good. So, and just that fast, it's time to plate it up. It is time to plate it up. So. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off my burner. And this looks so delicious. This looks so delicious. Look at that. Amazing. That is absolutely delicious. It looks amazing. I'm going to add a little bit of red pepper flakes onto this. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to grab a spoon and I'm going to have some. I'm going to grab a spoon really quick. Oh, this looks so good. Look at that. Look at that. That looks amazing. 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 And it's really hot too. Let's taste it. Oh, that's so good. So good. Very flavorful. Very, very flavorful. The kale still has some bite to it. It's very good. The white beans. So good. So good. So good. So good. So, with that being said and being done and being tasted, we have completed day one of our recipes. Day one. And the soup that we had was a shrimp, kale, and white bean soup. Super easy, super tasty. You can cook it in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Prep time, add 5 minutes in for prep time. Everything out the door in 25 minutes or less. Excited. I'm so excited. This tastes so amazing. I wish you were here to have some with me. Very good. Very good. Until next time. Here, I'm the Pescatarian, and remember to make today tasty.